Hello everybody. So I'm here today with the LevelUp V2 S150. So this model actually updated to the on the food, sorry, of August, and it updated a few things. Not necessarily the outside or the exterior, but more like the performance and this kind of stuff, right? And sounds, most importantly. So we'll have a little bit of a look at the changelog and to see what I think is good and what I think is bad, or probably still needs to work on. Okay, so here we are in the changelog, and one of the first things I like is the fact that it's actually updated to 4.0535, which is actually, it has the takeoff and landing rate, which I think, or calculations in other words, which I think it's nice that it actually updated to that, so that's great. Again, if you have the plugin, which from the Zebo, show you that you're able to get those takeoff and landing. So we'll get into all of that. Okay, but some of the few things here as fixed, and things I've updated, which is nice. But like I say here, the FMOD, things like sounds, seatbelt signs, other stuff has actually changed or fixed, which, yeah, I think it's pretty nice. They adjusted the flaps drag coefficient, better takeoff landing performance, stuff like that. Improve cruise, stall, takeoff and landing performance. A lot of these things, okay, have changed. So that's pretty nice. So we're gonna have a look at it and see what I think. And you guys also can tell me what y'all think about it as well. Okay, so into the cockpit, one of the things, as you can see here, the pretty much the display here. You see it has a bit of scratches and stuff, which actually is pretty cool, knowing that some of these aircrafts are pretty old. So yeah, it would tend to have a few scratches here and there, which I also noticed there's a few little scratches here, which actually makes it a little bit, let's see here, makes it look a little bit, I guess, put it realistic in a sense. Alright, so like you said earlier, they also have, because it's updated to the latest Zebo, so takeoff performance and also landing performance, right? So before the Zebo had only landing, but now takeoff and performance. If you have the plugin, the 737 symbol OPT plugin, so you'll be able to get this as well. So I just use some random stuff here. I press calculate, and it actually spits out performances here, which is pretty good. So I'm not going to use any of these performances here today, just because I want the aircraft itself, because I believe Simbrief still has to update it up to this version of the aircraft so that it can have realistic, or more or less the perfect realistic weights and speeds and stuff like that. Alright, so yeah, that's something that I like about this aircraft. So let's just have a little bit of a look at texturing. As you know, the LevelUp is a little bit updated, and in my opinion, I think this looks pretty nice. Likes to see, like, things looks a little bit more solid. It's not like before. In my opinion, like, you used to see a lot of like lines and stuff, but it's like less pixel in a way, and more like, I guess they're gearing towards making it, everything is so much volumetric, or more meshes and stuff like that, to make it look more, not just like cardboard like, but you know what I mean. Yeah, so things not looking too bad, but let's get to the sound part. All right, what I noticed, the sounds have changed. Nice to hear those stuff. Let's say the APU, for example. You see two different sounds, and let's get outside and let's hear how the APU sound is. All right, let's see how it sounds, or let's hear how it sounds. So far, I don't know what y'all think. Like, it has a bit of a, it's different. It doesn't just start up right away, like it takes a little bit of time. Oh, it's not. That was nice. That was pretty nice. That was pretty cool. Alright, so I actually like that. You know, that sounded really, really nice. Like I said, yeah, the click spots. I like the new click sounds. In my opinion, they sound pretty nice. You know, really nice, right? Really nice. Let me see. All right. So okay, yeah. So again, most of it is also not just like I said, not just only just this type of sounds, but the sounds to do with when the aircraft is starting up. Okay, so we're now starting to push back, so we want to hear how this engine sounds, huh? So we're gonna start engine number 2 and let's see how it is. Okay, so these sounds are pretty nice. Okay, that sounded pretty nice here as well. But let's see how long it takes to start up, as well as the sounds. That's pretty nice, not bad. What do y'all think? It's already at 27. Wow, can you imagine? It's already reached 27 on the N2. So I thought that it started up a little too quick. Yeah, I think that it started up a little too quick there. But these sounds, when it's settled right now, this sounds pretty nice. Yeah, I've been in a 737 multiple times in my life, so this seems to be pretty nice. Alright. In terms of when it's settled, but the startup was a bit short, I find. Alright, let me hear it from the cockpit now again. A little bit of a whine. Now it could be me, but I find like that was a bit short, and even just the initial sound a while ago, I don't know what you guys think, but that is the way it starts up now. In that sounds pretty nice, or close to what I normally hear. I think they did say something about they adjusted the flap lift, drag, and pitch coefficients for better takeoff and landing performance. So not necessarily I believe the flap sounds. So let's just hear at least going on to flaps 5. Okay, I didn't really hear much sound there. Don't know what y'all think. You'll have to change seats. Yeah, I didn't actually hear sounds there. Okay, so let me see how the taxi speeds. Okay, so it moved off pretty much right away there. Not sure if that's always the case, but it could be because like the N1 here I'm seeing is around 26 posts. Could be that just my throttle. Now, one thing I had to say is that the takeoff, in terms of the joystick settings, so rotation and all that kind of stuff, bear in mind it's not necessarily going to be exactly according to how the aircraft operates with it. Again, because everybody's joystick is going to be different, so we're not going to be taking the control pitch into consideration much here, but more like the performance when it takes off with flap settings and stuff like that. So we're gonna see how that operates. But so far I feel like the sounds, what do y'all think about the sounds so far? Now I noticed that that's on idle at 19.1 and it's pretty much
Approaching
moving.
10.
It's moving pretty quickly and a little bit I find. Okay, so once again the takeoff performances are not necessarily the correct performance for this takeoff. So it is just a full takeoff and basically generic speeds here. We're just gonna see how it performs at just its speeds of itself and not necessarily from the avatar like the takeoff performance here. Because the reason being because the sim brief sort of performances will be different, or actually it is because the aircraft isn't fully updated on sim brief as of yet. So these performances may not always reflect a true performance in terms of speeds and stuff like that. So let's get a move on and let's see how the sounds are.
On runway 10. On runway 10.
Okay, so y'all tell me. I like the sound in the back. That was pretty nice. Those sounds are really nice.
80 knots.
It sounds so real, man. Yeah, that is pretty nice sounds. I'm not gonna lie. All right, full takeoff there.
V1 rotate. Positive rate. Gear up.
That was pretty nice. I'm not gonna lie. All right, so let me hear how it sounds. That's pretty nice. I'm not gonna lie. That was pretty nice sounds. Yeah, this sounds. I actually like the sounds. The sounds are pretty nice. All right, N1. Yeah. This is pretty nice sounds. Not gonna lie. Alright, so let's hear the flap speeds. Doesn't seem to be much of flap speeds. Okay, so this is pretty much going to be the end of my review here. Yeah, I just feel like it's pretty nice. Most of it, just as you heard earlier, just a few little things. I think probably it could be me, but probably just didn't sound too well at times. But only at times when the startup I found was a little bit quick. But yeah, I feel like actually this is a step in the right direction. The changes, you know, as you see the scratches, you know, the sounds are pretty nice, you know. And you hear these sounds, you know, all of them sound slightly different, you know, so that's good. Again, the brightness and stuff like that, you know, seems pretty nice, you know, like, you know, and just general the feel inside there seems, the performance and everything seems, or it just seems to feel a little better and not like, you know, for me in the past, like the colors used to wash out, you know, here and there and get dark and just not too pronounced. But so far I haven't actually had an issue with the colors of, you know, how it looks in the cockpit and stuff like that. Yeah, so for me everything seems to be in the right direction. All right, so let me know what y'all think. If there's anything else I could have probably discussed, I appreciate it to hear your views on things. So yeah, comment down below, and I will see you all in the comment section.